إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين اللهم اجعلنا منهم ومن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر اللهم آمين اللهم آمين اللهم آمين أما بعد فيقول تعالى في كتابه الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون ويقول تعالى في كتابه الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الذين قالوا ربنا الله ثم استقاموا تتنزل عليهم الملائكة ألا تخافوا ولا تحزنوا. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, our lesson that we have for today is quite important. It's actually quite important. On a real note, it's really important. And this lesson actually deals with a quality that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about specific people, specific believers in Surah Hamim says or Surah Fussilat, depending on what Mus'haf you use. And this quality is a quality that if we leave the month of Ramadan without this quality, we've lost the month. We have failed to achieve the ultimate goal of the month of Ramadan. I noticed actually a few faces from the first khutbah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you guys for staying back. In the first khutbah we spoke about two things to prioritize, in the month of Ramadan. We spoke about studying the Quran, building a relationship with the Quran. And the second thing is we spoke about dua. And these things are very important for the month of Ramadan. It's fantastic. But there's more to the month than these two priorities. The reality is that without this quality, if we leave the month of Ramadan having not gained this quality, you've lost out on the month of Ramadan. And this quality can be even summarized in a hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he teaches us, he says, how much of a loser, how sad is it, how disappointing is it that if the month of Ramadan comes and goes, and the only thing you gained from it was hunger and thirst. That's it. Ramadan left, and the only thing that happened to you in the whole month of Ramadan is you just got hungry. You were just really hungry for 30 days, and that's it. And unfortunately, I have to ask myself, and maybe some of you, we've passed by most of the month. 3/4 of the month of Ramadan is gone. The most blessed month in the whole year. 3/4 of it is gone. 3 weeks. Done. We're in the last week. Next Friday is Eid. That's it. How many of us in the 3/4 of the month, 3 weeks we had, what did we gain out of those 3 weeks? Actually sit there for a second and think and ask yourself, what did I benefit from? How am I better today than I was 3 weeks ago? And if you have to sit for like 5 minutes and be like, well, what did I do? Then you didn't do anything. You really didn't. Let's be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. If you have to sit there and you have to think and you have to count like you're splitting hairs. I did that one thing that one time. One day I prayed 9 rak'ahs in Taraweeh. It's like, how do you even do that? That's impressive. But you're counting that one thing. If that's the case, we need to take advantage of it. All you got out of it was just hunger. And subhanAllah, you know what's terrible about that? We get hungry and you still gain weight. You don't eat for 30 days and you still gain weight because of how much you eat for iftar. Well, they can't even do sujood after iftar sometimes. You have your iftar and it's like you can't bend over. Unfortunately, we miss the point of Ramadan. Ramadan just over your head, as if nothing happened. When this is not the case. Where we have the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum, they understood the month of Ramadan as being a way, as like a stairs, is to take the next step to a higher level of spirituality. The idea, the point of Ramadan, it's like a boot camp. It's a boot camp for your iman. The idea is that if you come into the month of Ramadan on a level 1 of iman, and throughout the month you're on a level 7, and you're on cloud 9, you're high rolling in iman. You feel it in Taraweeh. You feel it when you're standing in your salah, when you're making your du'as in Qiyamul Layl. But if Ramadan leaves and you drop from level 7, all the way back down to level 1, you failed Ramadan. The idea of Ramadan is you start at level 1. Throughout Ramadan is special, for sure. So throughout Ramadan you're at level 7. But when you leave the month, you shouldn't drop below a 4. You can't go back to exactly what you were doing. And you missed the point. Then you're just running circles. You're like a dog chasing its tail. You get a little closer and then you go away. You get a little closer and you go away. And that's it. Is that what our deen is? Is it just circles? Is it just circles, our deen? And so these verses in Surah Hamim Sajr and Surah Fussilat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He describes the quality of the believer. That this quality should definitely be achieved in Ramadan, because it's so easy to achieve this quality in Ramadan. And that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He starts off verse number 30 by saying, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا. Most definitely, inna, harf al-tawkeed in the Arabic language, right? Inna is a letter for emphasizing. Think about it in English as like putting an exclamation point at the end of a sentence. That's what inna does. But you put it in the beginning in Arabic. So inna, without a shred of a doubt, there's no doubt at all that what I'm about to say is accurate. Inna الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ. Those who say our Lord, our sustainer, our caretaker is Allah. Those who submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who have Islam. Those who are Muslim. Because what does Muslim mean? Islam, unfortunately, is often translated as peace. Islam doesn't mean peace. Salam means peace. Islam means submission. Because we submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They share a lot of similar letters, so they have very close meaning. But Islam means to submit. We submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So those who have submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا. And then, after you have your belief set, we're Muslim, and the fact that you're sitting here today, your belief is set, then you take the next step. ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا. And then they have this one quality, and we'll translate that quality in just a second. That if you have this quality, what is the reward? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, تَتَنَزَّلُ عَلَيْهِمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ أَلَّا تَخَافُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا. that the angels descend upon the believers with this quality. And they say, لا تخافوا ولا تحزنوا. Do not ever be afraid. Do not ever be unhappy. You have nothing to be worried about. For those of you that are grown adults, most of you here today, men and women, you guys know how heavy of a statement that is. To be able to live your life with sakina, which is peace, tranquility, with salam. How heavy that is. As you get older, you start to lose this sakina. And then when you get really old, you get it back again. Because then you're like, forget it, man, I don't care about anything. But as you get older, you start to sometimes lose this feeling of sakina. Why? Because as we get older, we start to prioritize this world over the next. We lose that peace, that free shoulders. You ever see the kids playing around during Taraweeh? Outside? Not a worry in the world. Nothing. They couldn't care about anything. There's a level of peace that comes with that. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says one of the rewards for those people who have this quality, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends the angels upon them and tells the angels to tell them, meaning it becomes enacted upon them, so to say. أَلَّا تَخَافُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا. You have nothing to be worried about and you have nothing to be sad about. وَأَبْشِرُوا بِالْجَنَّةِ الَّتِي كُنْتُمْ تُوعَدُونَ. And glad tidings. Congratulations. Because you have earned your Jannah. وَأَبْشِرُوا بِالْجَنَّةِ. With this one quality, you earned your Jannah. So now the question arises. What's that quality? It's very simple. Very, very simple. However, something that our ummah has forgotten in this day and age. Not just the Muslims and non-Muslims alike. We have lost this quality. Especially those of us that are, of the more recent generation. Us youngins, we absolutely do not have this quality. If you're under the age of 30, you're young. Actually, if you don't have kids, you're young. We absolutely do not have this quality. This is something that our predecessors used to hold on to very tightly. Our parents and our grandparents. And this quality, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, is istiqamah. Consistency. Consistency. Constantly staying on top. And you're thinking to yourself, consistency. How so? With what? In your deen. Consistency in your deen. That there's never a day that you missed Fajr. It's just not going to happen. Because you're just consistent with it. It might happen by accident, maybe once or twice. But you're never going to miss Fajr purposely. Every single day, you're at the masjid for Fajr. Consistent. You're staying on top of it. This is something that our older generation had so well that we should definitely learn from our parents and our grandparents. This is something they got down to the T. Ask your parents how long they've been at a job, or their grandparents, your grandparents, how long they worked the same job. 40, 50, 60 years sometimes. The same thing every single day. Istiqamah. These are the actions that are beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, أَحَبُّ الْأَعْمَالِ إِلَى اللَّهِ أَدْوَمُهَا وَإِنْ قَلَّ. The most beloved action to Allah is praying all night long. No, that's not what the hadith says. The most beloved action to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to fast 2 months. Not just 1 month of Ramadan, a whole month after that. No, that's not what the hadith says. The Prophet Muhammad, he says, the most beloved, hubb, love, the most beloved action to to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is أَدْوَمُهَا وَإِنْ قَلَّ. Those that are consistent, even if they're small. That it's always there. That every time you walk into the masjid, you drop some sadaqah in. Maybe it's just 25 cents. Maybe you can't afford anything else. Maybe you're a college student, high school student. You just got a little part-time job somewhere here or there. All you can afford is 25 cents, but you're consistent with it. Or maybe you're a doctor, or an engineer. And you can afford maybe $20 every time you walk into the masjid, or more than that. Everyone has their own level. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed each and every single one of us individually. But the idea is consistency. You stay at it. And why is consistency so important? Consistency is important for two reasons. Number one, it shows priority. If you do something every single day, you care about that thing. And there's no question about that. There is never a day that you wake up and you're like, you know what? Today, I'm not feeling that whole drinking water thing. It's not going to happen. You're not going to wake up one day and say, I don't want water today. It's just not going to happen. You're consistent. It's a priority in your life. You need nutrition. And if our salah, if our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is on that same level, that there is never going to come a day that I'm going to wake up and I'm not going to be worshiping Allah the way I would have been worshiping Him yesterday and the way I'll worship Him tomorrow. It, number one, shows priority. Number two, when you're consistent with an action, you become proficient at it. You get better at it. You get better at it. You can improve and improve and improve and improve. The person who reads Quran once a year in the month of Ramadan, just for the last 10 nights, how much can they read? 10, 15 pages? Maybe, if you're lucky. Truth, let's be honest. Be honest with yourself. If you were to sit down after Salah right now and read Quran, how long could you go? Maybe 10 pages. But if you're reading Quran every single day, for example, you have these hifz students. You know, when I was memorizing the Quran, you know how much we had to read? Mandatory. For our classwork, mandatory every single day, we had to read 5 juz every single day. On top of reciting the juz that you're currently memorized, on top of reciting another juz from the juz that you've already memorized. We would be reading approximately 7 ajza every single day. There are 30 ajza in the Quran. 7 juz is approximately 140 pages. Every day. Now if you're reading that much Quran every day, Ramadan comes around and what happens? You're on top of it. You're not struggling to finish your recitation of the Quran in Ramadan. Taraweeh is a breeze. You're chilling. And so, when we're consistent, we become proficient. We become better at it. You can improve at it. So now, if I'm always on top of my salah, and it's a staple in my life, it's a pillar in my day, now, because I'm doing it every single day and I'm on top of it, now I can focus on improving my Fatiha. Now I can focus on my adhkar in the salah. What does Subhana Rabbil Azim even mean? Most of us don't even say Subhana Rabbil Azim. We just say Subhana Rabbil Azim, Subhana Rabbil Azim, Subhana Rabbil Azim. Just like mumble it out. But Subhana Rabbil Azim, what does that even mean? What does Allahu Akbar mean? What does Surah Fatiha mean? On a little just cool fact, interesting fact. Surah Al-Fatiha, the scholars, they mention, they say if you were to summarize the entire Quran, you could summarize it in Surah Fatiha. And if you were to summarize Surah Fatiha, you could summarize it in Iyaka na'budu wa Iyaka nasta'in. The whole Quran can be summarized in Surah Fatiha. and we read it every single day, multiple times a day, to what benefit? To what benefit? Stay consistent at it, work at it. And this is the same thing with everything in life, by the way. This is not just something unique for our deen. You know, if you have, they always have the example of if you have a stone, and on this stone you have one drop of water that falls on it. What's going to happen to the stone? Nothing. But if you have a drop of water falling on that stone over centuries, what's going to happen? The stone erodes. It goes away. That's what happens when you stay consistent. You stay on it, you stay on it, you stay on it. And so, my dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, if this month of Ramadan has come and has gone, we're 1 week away, that's it. And you haven't used this opportunity of the shayateen being locked up. We haven't used this opportunity of everyone always being at the masjid. We haven't used that opportunity to build a habit of us coming to the masjid, of us worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we haven't built these habits in the month of Ramadan, then 2 days after, we're going to be back to exactly where we were. And if that's the case, we have failed the month of Ramadan. We have failed the month of Ramadan. There's a request for the brothers to try and make some space, inshallah. Try and squeeze in, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We should be done the khutbah in no more than 4 minutes, inshallah. So if you have to maybe sit on your feet, that's okay. Try to fill in the gaps, inshallah. Make space for your brothers and sisters. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make space for you in Jannah. Ameen. And so, my dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, truly ask yourself, how is it that I have improved, or the lack thereof, in this month of Ramadan? Am I of those people that the Prophet Muhammad said that it's such a sad state that the month of Ramadan, the most blessed month of the year, has come and gone, and the only thing you got out of it was hunger? Is that the case? Is that the case? Do I want to be from those people? I just got hungry, that's it? I didn't even lose weight, I just got hungry and gained weight too, subhanAllah. All that fried food. Is that it? Is that what my Ramadan is? Is that what my salah is? That the only thing I got out of Taraweeh was sore feet? That's sad. That's sad. It's like someone who goes to the gym and the only thing they get out of it is a Gatorade. It's like, well, you missed the point, man. Wake up. What am I benefiting? What am I getting out of it? You go to work every single day, or you go to school, probably not now, but you're consistent in these things and you expect something out of it, right? You're not going to work every single day just because they got good hand sanitizer. Like that's not why you go to work. You want a paycheck at the end of the month. And so if you're not getting benefit out of these things that you're doing every day, you need to wake up. Ask myself, how can I improve? And am I going to be consistent with these deeds? This is what Ramadan taught you. Ramadan taught every single one of us a big lesson. And that is that you can do it. You absolutely can do it. You made time to come to the masjid in Ramadan. You can do it. You avoided certain things and certain places in the month of Ramadan that you would not have been able to do outside of the month. This is true for all of us. You know? Maybe it was something like movies. Maybe. For someone it might have been movies. They're like, you know what, it's Ramadan, I'm not going to watch movies. Maybe that's the case for someone. Maybe it's listening to certain things. Maybe it's watching certain things. Maybe it's going to certain places. Or doing certain actions. Each and every single one of us have dropped out a few things. Maybe it's the way we speak. That we watch our tongue more. And so Ramadan taught us that you absolutely have the strength to do it. You can do it. Now are you going to stay consistent with it? Are you going to stay on top of it? Is your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a priority enough that you're going to keep working on it? Or is Ramadan going to come and go and all you got was hunger? أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. My dear respected brothers and sisters in Islam, the scholars, they mention, they say, istiqamatu khayrun min alfi karamat. It says one good deed that you do consistently is better than 1,000 one-off deeds. And even if they're fantastic, even if they're amazing. Just one consistent deed. These are the things that are important to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And oftentimes we don't view it that way. And that's why the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, what does he say? He says, أَحَبُّ الْأَعْمَالِ إِلَى اللَّهِ, the most beloved actions to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, أَدْوَامُهَا, are those that are consistent, وَإِنْ قَلَّ, even if they're small. Even if they are small. Just do what you can, but stay on top of it. You already know what you can do in the month of Ramadan. Each and every single one of you know you're your own human being. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh yeah, Abdullah, I remember, you can do your salah more now. You know what you can do. Maybe in this month of Ramadan, the least thing that everyone got is you learned that you can definitely fast. It may have been difficult some days, but you can definitely do it. Should we not increase in our sunnah fast? The Prophet Muhammad would fast Mondays and Thursdays. Or at least the nights of the full moon. The 13th, 14th, and 15th of the month. Something. Or are we just going to get hungry this month? Are we just going to get hungry this month? Many of us are praying in the night. We call it Taraweeh. But what is Taraweeh? Taraweeh is a form of Qiyam al-Layl. It's a form of Tahajjud. It's a form of praying at night. Any prayer that is done after Salat al-Isha is the start of your Qiyam al-Layl. You taught yourself, you showed yourself that you have the ability to wake up at night or to stay up a little extra at night to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every morning you wake up before Fajr to eat. Because eating is a priority. Our stomachs, priorities to us. But what did you teach yourself? You taught yourself that if you really needed to, you have the ability to wake up before Fajr. You have the ability to be awake in the most blessed time of the day. Where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in Surah Al-Isra, إِنَّ قُرْآنَ الْفَجْرِ كَانَ مَشْهُودًا. Most definitely the recitation of the Qur'an during Fajr time is mashhood, it is witnessed. Why is it? It is witnessed by who? It is witnessed by all of the angels. Every single angel will say, I take an oath on the day of judgment that this person read Qur'an. Why? Because they're changing shifts. We got night shift and day shift. The angels have shifts as well. And at Fajr time, the angels of the night are here getting ready to go up. And the angels of the day have come down. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says that I am in the first heaven in the last third of the night. We prove to ourselves that we can do that. But is it going to be such that as soon as Ramadan finishes, I'm not even going to wake up for Fajr? Not even for Fajr, let alone before Fajr. Am I just going to be hungry? Is all I got from Ramadan is hunger? If that's the case, then we failed. And just know that you failed. But we have 7 days left. According to some modern research, it takes approximately 10 days to 2 weeks to build a habit. Approximately. May take a little bit more, may take a little bit less, but approximately 2 weeks to start a new habit. Now, those 2 weeks are already gone. We have 1 week left. We can at least start the process. If until this point you haven't started the process, at this point you can start. All hope is not lost. You still have 7 whole days to become a better version of yourself by the time Eid rolls around than you were before Ramadan started. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes us all the people that are consistent with our deeds. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gives us the full reward of the month of Ramadan. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He forgives us from all of our shortcomings. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes us all in the highest levels of Jannah, neighboring the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ameen. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين اللهم اجعلنا منهم ومن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر اللهم آمين اللهم آمين اللهم آمين إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله يذكركم. Remember Allah and He will remember you. وَادْعُوهُ يَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. Call out to Allah and He will answer you. وَلَذِكْرُ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ. And the remembrance of Allah is the greatest thing that each and every single one of us can do. وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ مَا تَصْنَعُونَ. And Allah is fully aware what each and every single one of us is doing. وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةِ.